When you work with compositing, sometimes you notice assets for your work does not match by color or temperature, so you want to match them together. Let's look how we can do this. The one way you can do is by creating with using color match inside the Photoshop. So for example, if I have some image that is quite a bit magenta and I will match with something cyan, so I can go inside image, adjustment, and select the match color. That way I can specify what is I want to use it and kind of adjust going from this point to try adjust color temperature. However, it's not always work well because to apply luminosity and other ones. And beside that, if you have a smart object and you try to do this, you'll notice that option is disabled. So what I'm going to do, I want to adjust the model to match this backdrop. So let's go ahead. Here's our model. And you notice model is a little bit warmer color versus our backdrop. To match them, I want to use it color. I want to use it curves. So I'm going to create a new curve right here, curves, and I want to be sure this curve set to the color mode. I don't want to affect luminosity. I just want to effect of the color. Next, I want to sample some of this information. So I'm going to use the color sampler tool. And be sure right here, as a sampler, you want to set at least 31 by 31, so it will sample some areas around. The usually color temperature, it's easy to distinguish by the white color. So I will try to kind of match in this case. I'm going to set my first point on the person, and we can do on the clever, or actually probably skin will work well as well. So I'll try find white, and I just set on a skin. And next, I want to match maybe around this area. I can use it poles, or I can just click and try to select some white color. Because overall color seems cyan, I think selecting area somewhere around this tile will match very well those colors. So now we have our 2 point. Point 1, we have it on our person, and right here our color samplers. And point 2, we have it on our pool or other colors. So next, what I want to do, it is apply that correction. So our curves, where it's selected, let's hold down Alt key and click so we can clip to our model. Next, we'll go select a red channel first, and I'm going to create a point on the middle right here. Next, as an input, we're using our first point that we created on the person, 206. And our next output will using point that we sample out our sceneries on the other ones, 2 through 5. So the first point, who we want to affect, and second, against what we want to affect this. You'll notice you have a nice curve. In some case, you'll notice if we don't have a curve, we want to add 1 point, so we'll lock this end. Okay, and we'll see if it's happened next. So next, we'll go ahead, do with the green, so we'll put it 1 single point on the middle, and the input we'll go put it 166, and the output we'll put it 231. Okay, so again, we have a curve for this. Let's go next to our blue, and our blue again, we'll put it on the middle one, and we'll switch the input 149, and our output is 214. So this point you can see, again, if for some reason you have a straight line going right here, just add points on the end. You want to have the curve, not the kind of angling line. So look right here, we already have a very nice color matching applied to our model. The best things about using this way color correction, that we have options to change opacity if we think it's applied too much. So we can apply slightly, or we can also use it mask tool, apply on specific areas. But overall, you can see again, this is very nice color matching with temperature, and you can always change. You can take your other point. If you think some other areas work better, you can move there. The other ways, if you have a hard time to find properly matching point, you can always just duplicate your layer that you're matching against, going to filter, blur, and using Gaussian blur on a higher pixels to just blur out and create this almost like a color. So in this case, you'll just pick up the maybe area around right here. We can see kind of wider and going against that modified. So this will be a little bit easier for you to go with the points to modify versus just to try find spot on an image when you have more details. Again, this is just another tip. Okay, so right here we'll look on a color matching, and we'll do this in our model. Again, right here we have it quite a bit effect. Okay, and I think it's a little bit strong, so we can take it slightly down. And this way we don't have some color clipping, and it's look nice and more blend in.